How's it going, YouTube? We're back yet again with another video, and today we're going to do something, we're going to start something, I should say, that I'm pretty excited about. So up until this point on this channel, I haven't really done any series yet. I've done some videos that are kind of similar themes, but today we're going to try and start a series, our first one on the channel, assuming it lasts more than one episode, which I'm sure it will. Once you hear the premise, you'll understand. And this series is going to be called Chasing Perfect. And the reason being is because I'm going to try to shoot a perfect round. Now, I had to modify this a little bit. I'm at a 9-hole course because I don't think 18 holes would be achievable for me anywhere. And I've also picked a 9-hole course in Lynchburg College where there are 2 par 4s that are very eagleable, technically 3, but really 2. So that way I'm giving myself a chance at this. But the idea is simple. No mulligans. I need to shoot a 9-under round for 9 holes out here on this 9-hole course. We're going to take as many attempts as possible. I think I could do it, but I think it's going to be very, very, very difficult. The stars will probably have to align, but I think that's what will make this series fun, and hopefully it'll last a little while. The other thing to mention is I'm not just going to do one attempt per video necessarily. If I don't get super far into the round and I realize that I'm mathematically not going to be able to do it, I'll restart and do another attempt in the same video, and I'll just kind of go until I feel like it's been a long enough piece of content, and we'll move on from then. So just because I missed the first 2 holes doesn't mean the video is just going to end. Don't worry about that. Once I feel like it's not going to happen, which is usually probably going to be after like hole 5 or 6 most rounds, unless I take like a double bogey on the 3rd hole, that's when I'll end it. So let's get it right into it. We're here on hole 1, Lynchburg College. You're probably going to get to know this course pretty well if you keep watching this channel. This one is pretty simple, par 3. It's like 250 feet. You can either go up the middle or play the wide hyzer. I usually play the wide hyzer here on this hole. Although I'm tempted to start trying the forehand. I might mess around with that. I'm basically never going to leave hole 1 until I start with a birdie, because why would I? I'm right here. And that way, like, I'm trying to get the best out of my round. But once I get to hole 2, if I miss hole 2, I'm not just going to walk back to this tee. I'll try and discuss my game plan on every hole, since this is going to be kind of a working series here. I like to take the overstable putter and take it wide on this hole and let the hillside try to take it down. I have mixed results, but like I said, I'm probably not going to leave this hole unless I make the birdie for the sake of time. So it's not really a huge deal. The pressure starts on hole 2. And if you hate that rule and you want me to just like have to play 9 through every time, I guess comment down below. But I feel like if I get 5 holes in and I've already like 1 over par, nobody really wants to watch those last 4 holes. So that was my thought process. Let me know what you think. Finding the right speed is the most important part here. Like, that's not fast enough of a disc or a throw. So I left that wide. So I'm not even going to go get that. I'm just going to throw another shot. See, I don't like that I'm doing this, but like, I'm restarting the round. So like, is it not fair? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, like I said, any other hole, I'll have to walk all the way back to the beginning if I want to restart. But this one, like, I guess it kind of eliminates a hole. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I can't decide. I can't decide if it's too unfair or not. I like the idea of being able to restart attempts so that I can like make it interesting, but it does kind of null and void hole 1 in a way, and I get that. So let me know what you think. All right, we're going to try a Toro. Throw it a little harder. That is what I like right there. Right there. Skip down there. Okay, that should be perfect. I should be able to do that every time. These are the kind of putts I want in this series. Nice tap-ins, stress-free, easy birdie, 1 under. Just for reference, the best I've ever shot out here, I think, is like 6 or 7 under by myself. Probably 6. So this would be doing something I've never done before. And like I said, it's going to be very difficult. Even though there are a couple eagleable par 4s, I think without those, it would be impossible. So I kind of need them. All right, we're on hole 2 now. This is where the pressure starts, because it's not like hole 1 where I can just keep throwing and the round restart. If I were to mess up badly here, I mean, if I par this hole, I'm never going to restart the round. That's not how I'm going to do this. Like, I'm only going to restart the round if I am really, really out of it. No chance I'm getting back to 9 under. So pretty much, considering I don't ever bogey this hole, now that I've said it, I'm sure I will. This is where the pressure begins, because it's a very easy birdie hole. It's right up there. You have an option of either the forehand or the backhand. I typically like the forehand. The danger is sawing it off right and short. You got to commit to it. I'm going to go slammer and just try to really throw it hard and flat. You just got to like use the open space on this shot because it's there. Gotta aim where the open space is. That's pretty good. Wow, that would have made, if that would have faded quicker, that could have been an ace run. I will say that came out of my hand earlier than I wanted, but the Slammer's a more forgiving forehand disc than like the Toro I was throwing, to where it will turn a little, and I mean that's part. It would be incredibly on brand for me to start this series like, yeah, I'll be doing this for 12 months, and then like play my best disc golf ever and get it on the very first attempt. Long way to go though. 2 for 2, and we've got 2 holes that I struggle with up next. Okay, this hole 3, is probably one of the maybe 2 or 3 holes, realistically one of the 2 holes that I'll struggle on the most here. I'd be surprised if I get this challenge done without having getting eagle to kind of pick myself up, but I'd like to use that on maybe one of the par 3s and try to birdie all the par 4s. And this is the toughest par 4. You have this tiny little wooded gap up there. You can either try to throw into it, which is kind of hopeless, or land at the base of it and try to throw a tough upshot. It's not long. The problem is trying to launch into the woods can put you in such big trouble. Like you could take a bogey. I don't know what my best play is. Like I don't know if today I should just lay up and see how that works and then go from there. I think today I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try, I got this red Wraith here that Connor gave me. It's really flippy. I'm going to try and smooth it up there and try and get in the gap. Oh, I pured it. Dude, who is this guy? That was best sit. Okay, that was the best drive I've ever thrown on this hole. That's like on the path. Okay, we might make birdie. This is hilarious. I could hardly have put this drive in a better spot if I walked out here and placed it. I'm staring right at the basket. Probably jump putt it, but the forehand should be very routine here. Just got to execute here. Cannot pass this opportunity up to go 3 for 3. Get around the tree. Okay. Thought I left it short, but it got around the tree. I think that should be pretty close. 3 for 3. I'm telling you right now, so far I've thrown some of the best drives I've ever thrown at this course. If this continues, this could be a quick series. 3 holes, 3 tap-ins for birdie. 4, I can mess up pretty easily. 5 is a very tough birdie. And then it gets into the easy par 4. So these next 2 holes, if I go birdie, like if I birdie 4 and 5, we might be doing this. We might just be doing this. Okay, hole number 4, another par 4. It is 600 feet downhill the whole way. Very, very much a must get for me. Because the next hole, hole 5, I think is the hardest hole I have to play left. It's probably between that one and hole 8. This is not the time to give up a stroke. It's all about getting the drive into play and then not messing up the upshot, because the reason this hole can be difficult is because everything slopes down and then eventually left. So it can be hard to control your disc. So let's hit the fairway first. I'm going with my Kristen Tatar Grace. I'm going to try and just smooth a hyzer flip out there. Better to miss and turn it over a little bit too much than to fade out left. That's jail. Okay, I kept it really low and it came out early. Sit, just sit. Oh gosh. And just like that, we are in trouble, folks. I don't know if that poked super far in, but whoa, that was bad. All right, the good news is I stayed on the edge. The bad news is the backhand is not there. So anything I try forehand-wise is going to be a challenging shot. But I think I need to throw it because it's there. And as long as I get all the way down there, even if I'm in the woods, the worst case scenario is par. I want to try to give myself a chance to make birdie. I think I'm going to go Quake and just rip it on Annie. This is a shot I do not throw often. The right height, start it really wide and let it pan. I don't hate that. I left it high, so it's not going to feed all the way down there, but easy par from there. Didn't quite commit to turning it, mostly just because I threw it too high. All right, so we're going to take a par, but here's what that means. I either have to birdie 5 and then get an eagle on 6 or 7, which is pretty reasonable to ask, but 5 is the hardest par 3 out here. So if I par 5, which is pretty likely, I have to eagle both 6 and 7, which is slightly less reasonable. And if I miss one of those 2, I'm going to be headed back to the first tee for my next attempt. Probably for the best that this tree branch cuts out my hopes of running this, because I think I probably would have. Ooh, I almost did run it. Okay. Good layup. That's a par. All right, not a very good par. Hole 5 is going to be crucial, because if I can birdie it, things are very much back alive. But if I par it, it is going to be looking desperate. All right, hole 5 is a tight tunnel shot. It goes high to low to high. I'm trying to film down the gap. I'll try to get out of the way the best I can after I throw so you can see the shot. But the idea is you're throwing downhill, but then into an uphill hillside, and then the basket is over there. So you want to try and just hit the center of the gap with something fast that'll hit the hill and jump up. So I'm going with my Maverick here. Last time I was out here, I did birdie this hole, but not typically when you birdie twice in a row. Oh, it came out so early. Didn't have to get out of the way of that one because it was through the left the entire way. The good news is I think it did punch through like to the bottom of the hill. Bad news is that's not going to give me a birdie. So I got really lucky here to land on the left side of the fairway, like with even a really long look at the basket. I think I need to run this because, like I said, if I don't get this hole, the odds are stacked against me. Kind of just float it up there maybe. I don't know. I might just jump putt it just as hard as I can. I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, man. Decent line. That's going to be a par. So if I don't eagle the next hole, because I have to eagle the next two, I'm not going to factor an ace into my math because that's just wasted time probably. So if I don't eagle the next one, I'm going back to hole 1. We're starting over again. Hole 5 is really going to be the heartbreaker hole in this series because I think there'll be a lot of times where I can get to hole 5 either 4 under or 3 under, and it's just a tough par 3. And the tough par 3 is what makes this kind of the difficult part of this series because you only get one chance really. You got to make it happen off the tee. And I didn't get it this time. So hole 6 is the easier of the 2 par 4s I now need to eagle. This one is only 366 feet. A little bit uphill, but it shouldn't be a par 4, but it is. We're going to hopefully take that to our advantage. The trees have grown up a bit to where it's not as easy as it used to be, but you have to basically get something straight through that gap. I like to flex a little bit, that kind of like U-shaped gap in the tree line, and then just fade a little left at the end. It's not super far. I'm going to go time lapse. Try and hit that gap with a little turn and a little bit of height, and then work its way left to the basket. Got to throw this shot well. At least I made it far enough in the course that I'm not too far from the first tee, but it's still a hike. Oh man, too much turn. Yeah, that's no good. I don't even know if I'll have a chance to throw in. I actually didn't hate the way that came out of my hand. Like I liked the line of it. I think I just gave it too much Anheuser and there's a little bit of headwind. So I'll go see if I can try to throw that in, but if I can't, we're headed to the first tee. Okay, my lie was just good enough to warrant a throw-in attempt. So I got my slammer. Gonna try and rip it up there at the basket, see what happens. Oh, I turned it too much. Get out of that. It just sat like 7 feet up in the tree. Well, that's attempt number, I just realized I can't call this attempt number 2 because I threw 2 shots off the tee on one. So this is technically attempt number 3, and that's a wrap. We're going to go start attempt number 4. Okay, so we are back on the first tee. That first attempt, we got a little over halfway into the course, so this will probably be my last attempt of this episode, unless it's really brief, unless I take a double on one of the first 3 holes, which don't sleep on hole 3. I could definitely take a double on that one. It's always a little deflating starting again after I went 3 for 3, and that was like a dream start, but that's just going to be the nature of this series. There's going to be times where I probably get 8 holes in, then mess up and have to start all over again, and that is deflating. But we're back on hole 1. This is technically attempt number 4, because I'm counting the throws off the tee. So I threw one off the tee. That was attempt number 1. Didn't like it. Second one off the tee was, or wait. No, this is attempt number 3 then. Because the second attempt was the second one I threw off the tee, which I took, and then went all the way to the last one. Yeah, so this is attempt number 3. I'm going to lose count on that. You guys just have to correct me. All right, we're going to try and get it with the Toro again. Same idea as last time. We're going to pretty much stick to the same strategy because the only thing I messed up last time was not executing the shots. I had all the right discs, I think. And that looks perfect again. I don't know if it's far enough, though. I think it is. I think I got around the last tree. I think I might be parked. Okay, I did not get all the way around the tree, which means we have our first kind of tester putt of the series. Not an easy one. Gotta straddle it out here. Let's get left. Oh, well, see you back on the first tee. It's gonna be really funny if I spend like half these videos just on hole 1, just like waiting to get one close enough for me to make a putt. Okay, now we're doing attempt 4, I think. Try to get it closer this time before we walk down there. That's really wide. It needs to move. Okay, that got around the tree. I think it did. I'm gonna keep getting pranked by that tree, but I'm pretty sure that one skipped around it, but I've said that before. Well, it technically got around the tree, but it stayed on the side like bushes, so not out of trouble yet. Closer than the last putt though. And we know it's not going to move off the chains of the hyzer. This putter does not do that. There we go. Good putt. Okay. Thank goodness. Just got to get on to hole 2 and just get away from here. Back to hole 2. Got to dial up one of those nice forehands again, just like last time. It's an important hole. Because like 3, I can get away with not getting 3 and parring it. But this one, like, you got to take advantage of it. Rolled my wrist. Oh, it got through. Oh, super lucky there. But I think I have like a 30-footer somehow. I might have to go more overstable on that shot. I'm still not quite comfortable throwing like flat shots, like having to trust that I can release the disc flat with the forehand. So I might have to go more overstable. We ended up just outside the circle here, which really great result considering what was about to happen to that disc. Got a little step putt opportunity here. See if we can take advantage. My step putt's not great in recent years, but it's gotten a little better. Get in there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Perfect line. Probably an inch too high to not kick down into the basket. Okay. Backs against the wall early. We missed hole 2. I have a hard time believing that I'm going to be able to miss 1 or 2 and do this challenge, but at the same time, it'll probably be something crazy unorthodox because I'll find opportunities to mess up on the dumb holes, like 4 on the previous attempt. So the worst part about parring hole 2 is that it puts all that much more pressure on hole 3 for me to actually get the birdie like I did last time. Gonna go with the same strategy. Wraith, just try to smooth it up there. It's always a little tough when you get to a hole and you knew you threw like the best shot of your life on it the time before. So you're like, well, I'm not gonna do that again, but that's not the right mentality right now. Okay, a little bit high. Just drop. Don't kick, just drop. Okay. I left it a little high, but it got up the gap a little bit before it stalled out left. So as long as it doesn't go too far down the hill, it's not out of the question to make birdie from there. All right, unfortunately, kind of hard to film this because we're in the thick of it here, but I got a fortunate landing spot. I'm on a path that leads down to the soccer fields, and I have a step out forehand. Like, this is as much as you can ask for, really, on a shot that I threw not perfect. So I'm gonna go zone OS and try and flex it through the gap, but there's a birdie opportunity here, 100%. Oh, and I love it. That might go in. Listen for it. Listen for it. I don't know why I'm saying that as if you'd hear it out of the lav mic on my hat. I just get excited. I think that's parked. Just to give you a visual, this is what my step out was looking like. I just had to throw it up through that gap. Not too bad. This thing had to fade like right past the basket because it was at a great height and it went right by this tree. An eagle there would have been electric, but that's tap in birdie and on to hole 4. All right, I need to get hole 4 this time because if I get it, I'll be right where I was going into hole 5 last time, which isn't a bad spot. So try not to miss left again. There we go. See, missing right is okay because that disc is going to fade right back to the middle of the fairway. Literally, now just don't skip a ton. Oh my gosh, it skipped a ton. I think it's okay. It landed on the edge. Everything skips on this hole. Okay, great spot here. Just need to execute. Heck, I almost have a backhand. Yeah, I think I can just throw a backhand here. I don't like it. There's a branch in my way. I don't want to chicken out at the last second. Just got to float the forehand. I struggle with this shot on this hole, but I know I can do it. Just got to get it up there and let it pan. I just cannot execute that shot, man. Every time I give that disc too much anhyzer and it burns like that. That is terrible. I don't know if you can see the full flight of that, but I played it up high and wide on this tree line, but I just gave it so much anhyzer that instead of gliding left towards the basket, it just plunged down too quick. I get too scared of leaving the disc out and stalling it, letting it fade instead of turning it over, but this disc is flippy enough that I need to trust it or just use something more stable because now I've got another 35-footer and I really kind of need to make this one. Let's see if we can get justice for the last step putt that I missed. But I missed this one, I got to go perfect. Downhill too. I could miss this and make bogey and just end it. It's not going to be up. And it's past the basket. Oh boy. Oh boy. This attempt could be falling here. Well, if I make this putt, I'll keep going and try to play perfect out. But if I miss this, I think we're out of luck. This is a very makeable putt though. Just a little 15-footer up the hill. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to talk about that putt. I don't even want to talk about that. Well, that's going to do it for our first episode here. Didn't end the way I wanted it to, but I think I just got to keep in mind this is going to be the long game because this is going to be very hard. I think I started off birdieing those first 3 holes and I was like, oh my gosh, did I make this series too easier? But I always show my true colors. Ended it on a missed 15 footer, so airball 15 footer. Yeah, we played a total of 10 holes today. Had technically 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts, I believe. I believe that was our 4th attempt. So 4 attempts in this video. I could see this taking 100 attempts maybe to do. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this series idea, if you want to see it continue. I'm planning on continuing it unless you hate it, and then I won't. Also, let me know if you have changes in mind for the format, if you want to see me implement any different rules, because I will certainly be receptive to those, especially since this is only the first episode. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be very challenging, and it could be fun to do like once a month or once every 2 months. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video and some somewhat competitive disc golf, and I'll see you next Monday.